of this company work. Folks, we're profitable. What we do this month, we're going to make us $700,000 to $1 million next month off what we do this month. Let me tell you why that's important. I'm sharing this with you. There's two reasons companies go out of business. Number one, poor management, and number two, lack of capitalization. They're undercapitalized. Well, folks, the capitalization is in our rearview mirror. The kind of money our company's going to start generating, the profits right now, is absolutely huge. And again, I want to credit the leaders in this company for helping make that possible. We couldn't do it without the leadership that you guys bring to the table. The third thing it takes, if you're going to build a world-class company, is you have to have world-class leadership in the field. You have to have people who lead by example. They walk the walk. They talk the talk. They're teachable, coachable. They're humble. They understand how to run and duplicate systems. So with that said, let's come back to what this says. How many of you aspire for greatness? How many of you are willing to do what it takes to achieve greatness? Well, folks, there are four simple things we do in this business. Number one, we recruit. Okay, number two, when we recruit someone, you do an FNA and internal consumption with them immediately. Folks, you don't recruit someone and go recruit the next. The proper sequence is when you recruit someone, you do an FNA and do their internal consumption sales. Number three, you take the brand new person, help them get their 5 field training sales. It's that simple. Okay, how do you help someone get 5 field training sales? It's pretty simple. Help them go recruit 10 people. You do 10 FNAs with all 10 of their recruits, and guess what? That new person's going to have 5 field training sales. Let me say this about Tony Reyes. As part of the management team of this company, I don't think there's anybody in our company. I don't think there's anybody in the company that duplicates the system any better than Tony does. If you want to talk about someone that runs the system the way it should be ran, at the top of that list is Tony Reyes, Rocky Narain, Roy, along with Nancy Versosa, Emily Dumdamaya. Go look at the leadership board, and them are the folks who run the system the way it's designed to be ran. Okay, number 4, you replicate the system. You duplicate 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go over this one more time. Folks, this is too simple what I'm telling you. 3 things we do. Number 1, we recruit people. Once you recruit a new person, do an FNA, internal consumption immediately. I want you to think about what I'm going to say. You recruit a new person, and you don't do an FNA with them. They don't own the product. How can they represent our company, really? What do you think one of the first questions that people are always going to ask? They're going to ask you if you own the product, what product you own, and why. Well, folks, there's a proper way to do it. Again, when you recruit a new person, FNA, internal consumption, okay, that means they're going to own our life insurance. They're going to own our health insurance if they don't have group insurance. If they have money, if it's suitable, they're going to own an annuity CD or a land banking product. And if we have a better PNC product than they have, they're going to be a PNC customer. See, I can show you 4 ways to monetize a new person and do it day one. Day one, 4 ways: life insurance, health insurance, an annuity, CD, land banking, and PNC. Folks, the next thing when you have that new person is you're going to help them get their 5 field training sales out of the way so they're qualified. Again, this is the system. You replicate the system and duplicate 1, 2, and 3. Let me say this. The training manuals and the systems that Dan Armin has put together will put us at the top of this industry, period, end of story. Okay, what I'm showing you is the very, very basics of what you do, okay, and all the conversations I've been able to have with Stanley Meyer and Joel Christie. I want to share a statistic with you now, and I hope the leaders actually get this. I hope the leaders that want to do something at a high level, let's go back to this page. How many of you aspire for greatness? How many of you are willing to do what it takes to achieve greatness? Them are two questions. Everybody says they aspire for greatness, but you know what? The second question is a little bit harder. How many of you are willing to do what it takes to achieve greatness? Well, let me tell you the conversations that I've had with Joel Christie, Mike Feinberg, Victor Leva, Bob Trueblood. Folks, these are some of the icons in America in this industry. Victor Leva right now has 4,200 licensed life agents. Last year did $25 million in targeted premium. Okay, folks, I'm going to focus on something here, and I hope you get this and get it in a big way. Okay, if 100 people get an insurance license today, 1 year from now, 11 of them, 11% will become career people in this business. They're going to make a living at this. Okay, about 1% or a little less than 1% is going to become wealthy in this industry. Well, folks, A.L. Williams had 9 legs that turn in 750,000 agents, 10 million customers, and a $2 billion market cap company. World Marketing Alliance had 7 legs that turn in to 430,000 recruits, 5 million customers, and about a $1 billion market cap company. So, folks, guess what you have to have? If you aspire for greatness, if that's what you truly aspire for, you need 7 to 10 legs that become big in this business. You need 7 to 10 that become big. So now let's break down, how do you find 7 to 10 legs? Listen to me real careful what I'm going to tell you. Again, if 100 people come in this business a year from now, 11 are going to become career people, a little less than 1% is going to become wealthy. Well, folks, you need 7 to 10 of the 1%ers. That's what you need, 7 to 10. So now, guess what that begs? It begs the question, how many people do you personally have to recruit to find 7 to 10 that become big? Well, folks, I'm going to show you right now. And again, I've showed you this before, and I don't think people understand it or get it. Okay, whatever you do, good or bad, is going to get duplicated. The speed of the group is the speed of the leader. Folks, take this to heart. If you're going to plant your flag here, if you aspire to be great, if you truly want greatness, this is simple. It's really simple what I'm going to show you. Okay, it starts with your attitude. You know, the number one thing I look for in new people, someone who has great attitude, someone who has the mindset, someone who has the mindset that they aspire to be great, but number 3, someone who makes the mental commitment. Let me tell you what commitment is. Let me give you a definition. It's someone who's willing to do whatever it takes to get the desired result they want. Let me repeat that. Let me give you another definition of commitment. It's someone who's willing to do whatever it takes to get the desired result they want. Yeah, I'm looking for someone who has some mental toughness. Hey, folks, you know one of the most common asked questions I have people ask me every day? See, we have leaders in our company today that 90 days from now aren't going to be here. They're not going to be here. They're purported to be leaders in this company. Well, folks, let me once again tell you what a leader does. A leader leads by example first and foremost. It starts with their attitude. A leader is always positive. See, we always have problems every day. Well, you approach a problem with a positive attitude to get a positive result. And let me tell you about problems. The bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. See, if you're a good problem solver, the bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. You have to have the mindset. And again, I can look at the leaders in our company. Rocky Narain, he's one of a kind. Always positive. Always moving forward. Rocky and Saudi are problem solvers. Roy, you've never met anybody more positive than Roy. Roy leads by example. Roy's the epitome of leadership. Tony Reyes, again, I've never met someone more positive-minded than Tony Reyes. Someone that has a better mindset, better commitment to excellence. Folks, Nancy Versosa, once again, let me tell you why I'm mentioning these people. That they're top of their game recruiting. They're at the top of their game with internal consumption. They're at the top of their game field training, sales, or organization. In other words, they do it the right way. They do it the right way. They don't take shortcuts. They do it the right way. I'm telling you, you don't know how appreciative I am of these people. All-out massive action. Folks, anything you do in life, I don't care what it is. If you're a professional football player, do you think they're aggressive or do you think they're passive? If you're a professional basketball player, are you aggressive or passive? If you're a professional boxer, are you aggressive or passive? Well, folks, if you're going to achieve greatness, if that's truly what you want to achieve, then you have to have a business plan to achieve greatness with, and it's called all-out massive action. No shortcuts. You have to be persistent, consistent on a day-in, day-out basis with your activities. Again, I want to get this embedded in your mind tonight. You know what you should be doing every single day? Every single day, you should be recruiting. Every single day, you should be doing an F&A and internal consumption with someone new. Every single day, you should be helping a new person get their first 5 field training cells and get them qualified. Okay, folks, how are you going to build a big organization that replicates itself if you don't lead by example? You know what I admire so much about Rocky, Nancy, Roy, Tony? You want to know what I admire so much about them? Every single day, they're out in the field recruiting. Every single day, they're doing financial needs analysis, doing internal consumption with their team. Every single day, they're helping people get their 5 field training sales, and they replicate the system. Well, folks, if you truly aspire to greatness, if you truly aspire it, there's 4 things you have to do every single day. Number 1, you personally need to recruit every single day. You personally. Number 2, you personally need to do an F&A every day. You need to monetize someone. Number 3, you personally need to help. You need to help those who you recruit get their 5 field training sales. That's what we do as leaders here. See, you want to know the biggest death of a marketing organization? The biggest death is something called the management mode. The management mode is where you stop recruiting. Yet you're expecting everybody else in your group to recruit. Yet you go into the management mode and you stop recruiting. Folks, that don't work. All the time that I've had an opportunity to spend with Joel Christie, all the time I've spent with Stanley Meyer. Folks, I'm going to go back a slide. All the time I spent with them.
Okay, it's
you want to know if they just hammered me with? Recruit,
okay, just
recruit
fix it when you do count.
every single day. Every single day if you're a leader.
Yeah.
When your feet hit the ground in the
All right,
morning,
thank
you're
you.
recruiting. Number 2, those who you recruit, you do an F&A. You help them with their internal consumption sales. You help them get their 5 field training sales every single day. When you personally stop recruiting, when you personally stop doing F&As and internal consumption with those you recruit, when you personally stop helping your new recruit get 5 field training sales, guess what happens to your check? Guess what happens to your momentum? It's inevitable. It goes down. So guess what I'm trying to tell you tonight? Telling you how insurance companies are built. Guess what insurance companies do every day? They recruit. They recruit. They do an F&A. They monetize, do their internal consumption. They field train their new agents. And they replicate the system. If you're going to be a leader in this company, if your true goal is to have financial independence, folks, if that's your goal, every day you get up, you need to recruit someone. You need to do an FNA. You need to do an internal consumption cell with your new recruit, and you need to help your new recruit get 5 field training cells. You also need to replicate the system. It's that simple. So again, all-out massive action, consistency, and persistency. Okay, once your new person, once they have done their internal consumption cell, once you've monetized them in what's appropriate, suitable, now and only now are you going to help them set their short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. You're going to help them build a business plan. In other words, anybody can say, I have a goal to make this amount of money. The difference between those who make it and those who don't are the ones that have a business plan on how to. Tonight I'm going to show you a business plan on how to. Number 3, you have to have a daily method of operation. Again, I'm going back a couple slides. When you get out in the morning every day, if you're a leader in this company, set a goal to recruit someone every single day. Set a goal every single day to do an FNA, get an internal consumption sale. Then take that new person, help them with their 5 field training sales, teach them how to replicate 1, 2, and 3. So now, let's go back here. Let's go back. Daily method of operation, accountability. At the end of every day, you know what you ought to ask yourself? Did I personally get a recruit today? Did I personally do an internal consumption cell with my new recruit? How many people do I have in my base shop that I'm helping get their 5 field training sales? Are you on track to hit your goals? If not, why not? What are you going to do tomorrow to get back on track? Let me tell you the difference between average and ordinary and somebody who really aspires to greatness. People who aspire to greatness are compulsive. Let me tell you somebody I know who's compulsive. There's a guy in Chicago named Mike Kircheski. Folks, this month, Mike's group's going to do 300-400 life apps. See, he just got all his appointments through. Well, you've heard Mike on the radio show. You've heard him on some of these leadership calls. Mike's compulsive. Mike doesn't know what the word no means. Mike only understands one thing: recruit, internal consumption, 5 field training sales, replicate a system. If you want to talk about someone hard-nosed, if you want to talk about someone who's going to bring some leadership to this company, his name's Mike Kircheski. Let me tell you, we've got another guy out there in Ohio named Chad Wickline. Hey, folks, I want everybody to hear this real quick. Chad Wickline has an insurance background, understands Index Universal Life, but he also has earned 6 figures a month in network marketing. Chad's one of the biggest players in the company. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Chad Wickline. This month he's going to write $100,000 on his own pen. As a vice chairman, that's called $65,000 on his own pen in his pocket. Everybody hear what I just said? Chad Wickline's 2nd month in the business. He's going to write $100,000 on his own pen. That's called $65,000 commission in his pocket. Okay, folks, let me tell you why I got to go back this slide again. You want to know the only way you're in control of your own income? If you get up every morning, if you get up every single morning, and your goal is to recruit someone new, your goal is to do an FNA, do an internal consumption cell with them, help that new person get 5 field training cells, that is the only way you control your own income. See, when you get out of the recruiting and building mode, guess what? You can now put your income in someone else's hands. Well, how many of you on the phone like the idea of putting your income in someone else's hands? See, I don't like to put our company's income in someone else's hands either. So what do you think I'm doing? Folks, I'm going to lead by example in this company. Tony Reyes is going to lead by example in this company. So again, short-term, mid-term, long-term goal, That's only after your new person has done an FNA and an internal consumption sale. Then you're going to help set up a business plan. Just a second, I'm going to show you a plan. Then a daily method of operation. See, folks, when you have a business plan, a daily method of operation, that's how goals are achieved. Accountability. At the end of every day, ask yourself, am I on track to hit my goals? If not, why not? What do I have to do tomorrow to get back on track? First 90-day madman cycle. Okay, folks, every new person in this company, when you sponsor them, number one, FNA, internal consumption, you help them get 5 field training sales. Okay, how do you help them get 5? It's taking the time to do the little things and do them right. Get that memory jogger out with the new person, help them make a list. Now you're going to help them qualify their top 25, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Okay, folks, the goal when a new person has a list of 200 names is to take 200 people through our system as fast as they can. Okay, if you're full-time in our business, you got to take 200 people through the system your first 30 days or less. Okay, that can be at a local BOP, a luncheon. It can be on company-sponsored webinars, conference calls. It can be on three-way calls. There are a lot of ways to do this. But the goal, folks, if you're full-time, if you're not taking people, 200 people through our system and doing it in the next 30 days, you're not doing the business. You're kidding yourself. And I have a lot of leaders on the phone who are on stipends. You know what I look at? I look at your frontline recruiting every month. That tells me how engaged you are in the business. I look at your personal production on your own pen. If you don't have any frontline recruiting, if you don't have any business written on your own pen, you know what? I hate to burst your bubble. You're not engaged. I see through that. Well, folks, I can guarantee you this: the people on stipends, we're going to pay the right people, not imposters in the company. See, I want our leaders in our company to lead by example. So if you're on a stipend in our company, you better have your list of 200 names out. You better be taking 200 people through the system. Guess what I look at? I look at frontline recruiting, frontline internal consumption in your own name. I look at how many people that you're getting 5 field training sales. You know who's the best at that? Tony Reyes is unbelievable. Rocky Sadi, Roy, Nancy Versosa, these guys are champions. They are champions. They lead by example. Well, folks, if you have a list of 200 names, I'm telling you right now, 40 of them will become part of QS. I'm also telling you that 30% of the 40 will end up buying products. If you do an FNA, if you show them why, they buy. It's that simple. You show them why, what's in it for their family, and they will buy. Well, that's if you're a novice. If you're a Rocky Narang, you're going to have 70, 80, 90% closing ratio. If you're a Roy, you'll have 70, 80, 90% closing ratio. If you're an Emily Dumpton Maya, 70, 80, 90% closing ratio. Folks, I'm showing you what will happen to a Greenie. This is someone who has no background. You have 40 recruits, 30% buy, Index Universal Life, average about $200 a month. So you got 12 sales, $2,500, does $30,000 in premium. Folks, if you're on a 50% contract, you just put $15,000 in your pocket. You just put $15,000 in your pocket. If you're a vice chairman, you just put $19,500 in your pocket. Okay, folks, when you're new in this business, there's only one way you can control your income. That is by your personal recruiting, the personal internal consumption sales you do with your recruit, and the field training you do with your new recruit. Okay, part of the problem we've had here is we've had some leaders that think they understand leadership, and they're weak on frontline recruiting, they're weak on internal consumption with the people they have in their group, and they're weak also on field training. Folks, there is no shortcut to that. There is none. If you're going to become financially independent, you better put on your recruiting hat. You better put on your FNA hat, your internal consumption hat with those who you recruit, and you better put on your field training hat. That is the only way to replicate a system properly. That's the only way, folks. So again, out of 40 people, how many of these will be here a year from now? Statistically, 4. So what do 4 people do? Well, first of all, we're going to do an FNA, and we're going to do 4 internal consumption sales with them. Number 2, we're going to get them 5 field training sales, period, end of story. Okay, 4 go out and get 40 recruits. That's 160 recruits. 30,000 times 4 is 120,000. 120,000 times 13%. Now you got 15,000 in overrides. Now you've built a team of 200. I got to show you something. You'll never have a team of 200 unless you make your own list of 200 names, take 200 people through the system, and recruit 40. You will never see the day that you have 200 people in your group until you do the very basics yourself. Folks, when you recruit 40, guess whose income's, you're in control of your income by your own recruiting, your own internal consumption, your own field training. There is one leader on this call tonight that the next 30 days should make 20 grand if they do this right. Not one person on the phone tonight. You couldn't go make 20 grand the next 30 days. What it really boils down to is you're going to make a list. You're going to take 200 people through the system like you should. You're going to recruit 40. You're going to do 40 FNAs. You're going to monetize 50%. Are you going to help them people get their field training sales? Folks, this is simple. This is simple. So again, now you got 15,000 overrides. Made 30,000 your first 4 months in the business. Now you've built a group of 200. How many duplicate out of 200? 10%. So what are 20 people going to do? Well, let me tell you what they're going to do. Number 1, we're going to do an FNA with them. We're going to monetize them. They're going to do internal consumption on life insurance, health insurance. If they have money and it's suitable, annuity CDs, land banking. And if we have better product in P&C, they're going to become our client. Okay, number 2, we're going to help set short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. We're going to help build a business plan to achieve their goals. We're going to have a daily method of operation. We're going to help them take 200 people through the system. Folks, we're going to become systematic and robotic here. This is how insurance companies are built, and if you truly aspire to greatness, you don't have your list 200 tonight, don't go to bed till you have it. You need to have your short-term, mid-term goals set tonight. You need to have a daily method of operation tonight. In other words, let's start doing what champions do. I want everybody in this company making 10, 20, 30 grand a month. I don't care if you're part-time. No excuse not to. 20 people take 200 people through the system. That's 800 recruits. We could take the worst person in the company. By accident, you're going to have 30% do internal consumption. So when them 800 recruits come in, folks, listen real carefully. FNA, internal consumption, 5 field training sales. Folks, no shortcuts. Let's do it right. If you're going to be a leader and call yourself a leader, step up to the plate and start doing what a leader does. 800 times 30% internal consumption, 240 sales times 2,500, index UL 600,000 times 8% overrides 48,000. Now you've made yourself 80,000 your first 6 months. Folks, I'm showing you a part-time income. It's not a full-time income. Give me a break. It's part-time. Okay, out of 800 recruits, how many people are going to duplicate? 10%. Okay, what are 80 people going to do? I can assure you this. Their sponsor's going to do an FNA with them. Their sponsor's going to do internal consumption on life insurance, health insurance. If they have money and it's suitable, they're going to own our annuity, CD, land banking. And if we have better product in their P&C, they're going to become a client. Folks, let's get down to business. What do you do when you recruit a new person? FNA. You monetize them on life insurance, health insurance, annuity, CD, land banking, P&C. If you're not a product of the product, how can you represent our company? That's hypocritical. Come on. Start being a leader and lead by example yourself. Don't ask someone else to do what you don't do. Step up to the plate and be a leader for once. If you want to lead by example, if you aspire to greatness, do what leaders do. Lead by example. So again, 800 recruits, got 80 people going to duplicate a system. 80 times 40 is 3,200 recruits. So what is 3,200 people going to do? We're going to do 3,200 FNAs. Again, 3,200 FNAs. We're going to monetize these people, internal consumption. That's 960 sales times 2,500 is 2.4 million times the 5% override, 120,000 overrides now. Guess what? You've been here 8 months, made a couple $100,000. Just became a vice chairman in our company. 6 months or less. Well, folks, now we're going to get to the good stuff. You see this 5 recruit 5? Let me show you why this never happens in network marketing. The reason it never happens is you never make a list of 200 names yourself. Starts with you, folks. How can you expect someone else to do something you haven't done yourself? Number 2, when you recruit a new person, you absolutely have to help them make their list of names and qualify it. If you don't do that with your new person, how can you expect them to do it with their new person? Folks, duplication's the key here. Duplication is the key. So let's go down here. Folks, I got to go back one more time. I got to hit this one more time. If you have less than 200 names, you recruit 40. How many out of 40 duplicate? 4. Okay, folks, if you want to have 5 people duplicate this system, there's no shortcut to having less than 200 people going out recruiting 40, doing 40 FNAs, and going out and having at least 30 to 50% become a product of the product. You do their internal consumption. You take them people out and field train them properly. You duplicate 1, 2, and 3. Folks, if you want to see this duplicate what you're looking at right now, it's the only way it's going to duplicate. I see people come in and say, oh, I'm going to go recruit 5 leaders and duplicate it. My rear end. Give me a break. The only way you're going to get 5 leaders to duplicate it is to go out and recruit 40. See, insurance companies aren't built with what ifs, what this, what that. Insurance companies are built with statistical data. Okay, folks, we're giving you the statistical data tonight to build your own company. We're literally showing you how a company's built. We're giving you the data they use. So you think you're smarter than an insurance company? Give me a break. Take the data an insurance company uses, apply it yourself, and you'll become wealthy. Duplicate the systems they duplicate with your organization, you'll become wealthy, and your people will become wealthy. So if you want this to duplicate, you make your list of 200 names, you go recruit 40, and guess what? You'll have 5 leaders that start to duplicate. Okay, what do 5 people do? They go out and get 10 customers each. That's 50 customers. Average premium $2,500. That's $125,000. If you had 10% override, you just made $12,500. 5 get 5. That's 25 people times 10 customers. That's 250 customers times 2,500. That's $625,000. 5% override. That's 30,000 overrides, folks. 25 get 5. That's 125 times 10. That's 1,250 customers times 2,500. That's 3 million. If you had the lowest override in our company, 3%, 90,000 override. Well, folks, let's add this up. You got 155 people in your group. Now you're sitting on 125,000 in income. Where else can you do that in network marketing? One place, financial services, QS2. 125 get 5. That's 625 times 10 customers. 6,250 customers times 2,500 is 15 million. 3% of that's 450,000. Hey, now you've made 575,000. You got less than 1,000 people. Name me another company you can do that in network marketing. Just name them. I'd love to hear it. Text me tonight. Email me tonight. QS2. 625 get 5. That's 3,125 times 10 customers. That's 31,000 customers times 2,500. That's 78 million. What's 3% of 78 million? It's over 2.5 million, folks. 3,125 get 5. That's 15,000. times 10 customers, 156,000, times 2,500 is 399 million. Okay, folks, I got to go back to the first slide. Okay, if you want to happen, what I'm showing you, make your list of 200 names tonight. And I don't care if you've been in our company for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. Do it right. Do it right. Make your list of 200, recruit 40, do 40 FNAs. You'll find out by who's teachable and coachable with the ones that end up doing internal consumption. Them are the ones who are going to succeed. The ones who don't succeed won't do it. It's called they're not teachable and coachable. They don't deserve to be successful. Again, follow the system. If you'll follow what I'm showing you, let me show you what it leads to. You do this kind of business, folks, and guess what you just made? You made $14 million. There's your $1 million a month income. Okay, folks, now here's the question for you. Here's a good question. You ready? That's off one list of 200 names if you're teachable and coachable and you'll do it properly. What if you did this 190 days and then the next 90 days made another list of 200? Instead of having 4 or 5 duplicate, you'd have 8 or 10. How would you like to make 28 million? Okay, you know the biggest mistake I see leaders in our company make? Bar none biggest mistake. Bar none, they think they're going to make a list of 25, go recruit 5, and this will duplicate. I hate to burst your bubble, but it's not going to happen. If you make a list of 200 names and it's done properly, you'll recruit 40. You'll have 30 to 50% buy the products if you're a greenie. If you're a seasoned professional, you got to have 50 to 70% buy. You got to have $30,000, $40,000 check. What you do this month, next month ought to pay you 30, 40 grand on your own pen. Okay, folks, it's up to you as a leader to duplicate this and duplicate it the way it should be duplicated. Let me tell you the one thing I've learned from Joel Christie, talking to him, Stanley Byer. You know what the name of this game is? The name of this game is recruit, 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 never stop. Never, ever stop recruiting. And guess what you do with a new recruit? You do an FNA and you do their internal consumption sale. The ones that are teachable and coachable will follow your lead. The ones that don't do that, there's nothing you can do to help them. As much as you would like to help them, as much as you'd like to see them succeed, there's nothing you can do to help them. That's why you personally stay in a recruiting and building mode all the time. When you recruit someone, do an FNA, field training, help them get their 5 field training cells. Folks, if we start duplicating this as a company, how long would it take us to be a $1 billion cap company? Only takes 7 to 10 people in this company to duplicate this. We'd have a $1 billion cap company in 2.5 years. 5 to 7 years, we'd have a $10 billion cap company. I'm going to end this tonight on this. My name's Kelly Schnorenberg. I'd like to find out who the real leaders are in the company. I'd like you to text me on my cell phone, 303-828-7831. Again, my name's Kelly Schnorenberg. I'm the National Director of Sales. I'd like to have you text me tonight. I want to find out who the true leaders are in the company. I want to know who's going to follow this plan. You want to know why I'm asking you that? Because I spend a lot of money on airline tickets, hotels, lunches, dinners, stipends. I want to make sure I'm putting my money in the right place. I don't want to spend it on someone who's not worthy. Well, I got a pretty good idea who's worthy and who's not. I want to congratulate Nancy Versosa. When it comes to leadership, it doesn't get any better than Nancy. We're opening a new office with Nancy in Northern California. I want to congratulate Emily Dumdamaya. I tell you what, we got some tenacious ladies in this company. But I want to throw out a special thanks tonight to Saudi Narain. You hear a lot about Rocky. Let me tell you, nobody better in our company at duplicate and run the system than Saudi Narain. I want a special thanks out to Saudi tonight, because let me tell you, behind every good man's a good woman, and it doesn't get any better than what Saudi does for Rocky in QS2. I want to thank corporate, thank all the people in our company. I want to know who aspires to greatness. Text me tonight. I want to know if you're going to follow a system. My number is 303-828-7831. Have a fantastic week.